Hey guys, THGLover here. This is going to be duel number 46 today. Yes, I decided to play Geargia, and I saw how well they do in the OCGs, so I thought why not just play them. This is my quickly deck list. I'm not going to go through it because I'm only going to show it for about 30 seconds before it goes on to the duel. But as you can see, it's got Geargia Excels, it's got like basically 3 of most of them, and then a couple of the level 3 ones. If you want to find out, I can post up the link to them on my description. You can see my extra deck is quite broad. So yeah, straight onto the duel. I put it very fast mode, so no, you don't have to sit through 15-20 minutes of me dueling very slowly. So yeah, obviously I've got tour guides in there because the card makes everything better. I did make a very stupid play, which I'll show you in a minute, because he's going to summon Cyber Dragon, attack over tour guide, and yeah, and I completely forgot, because I'm not used to using tour guide, that you can't use it for synchro materials. So I tried to go into Bionic, and as soon as I did that, he said no, you can't do that, and I just quickly remembered that you can't. So I very quickly made up for that. I didn't say I have to say sorry really. So I made Leviathan Dragon and proceeded to attack over his monster. So yeah, if I were to go into Acid Golem at this point, I probably would have been in a better position, because he eventually gets him and manages to get him out, which manages to switch my monster into defense mode, and then he runs over it. But of course that happens on my next turn, I believe. He plays Pot, which lets me get Veiler. I thought if I can Veiler as much Karakuri stuff as I can, they can't do his plays, so I set Geargia. He doesn't have a idea. He doesn't know that I'm playing Geargias at the moment, so because I haven't actually used one of their cards yet, so he'll be pleasantly surprised. He summons that and he attempts to attack over my Leviathan. He destroys himself and gets himself a the one that lets you change position. I can't remember its name. Yeah, so he puts in defense and he kills it, which if it was an Acid Golem, I would have been in a much better position at this point. Geargia lets me go and get a... I don't remember. I think I get Geargia Arsenal. Yeah, Geargia Arsenal. Yeah, I thought that'd be better. So I add it to my hand and I summon it. It didn't require me to use up my special summons, if that actually makes any sense, but it doesn't. So I destroy it, and then I attack for 1/1. And then in main phase 2, I was going to go into Giganto, but I instead decided on flipping it face down so I could add more hand, because he's got a bigger hand than me, so I was kind of worried. Yeah, so I Veiler, more Veilers for everyone. And these special summons, Komachi. I was thinking, should I use warning at this point? Should I use warning? And I decided not to. Yeah, so he adds Cachet to his hand, lets him get Queek, and at that point I realized that if I were to keep my monsters on the field, he'd be able to attack over them with Queek. So I was like, no, not today. So he averages all his monsters back in this deck. And he sets one. So at this point I'm like, I've got quite a few choices to do. So I decided to attack him just to make sure that one of my attacks go through in case he has Torrential. But I decided to go for it anyway, and I flip it up and I go and get a Geargia Axel, I think. Yeah, I do. And he asked me what cards I had to my hand. Yeah, I decided to add that because I can toolbox basically. I can from my hand or grave. A Veiler, and I think he guessed that. Yeah, so he's gonna try and put his monster in defense, and he basically quits because I MST, and I'm guessing his back row was something that could have stopped me. So yeah, changes me to a rematch. And I pretend that I'm siding because I haven't actually got any side cards. I was just made this deck just now, but maybe it might have things might have been different in the second duel. Yeah, so I've got a pretty decent hand. He ends up failing. Yeah, warning quite quickly. and he's going to try and blow up from there. So he decides to go into Beret, which gets judgmented very quickly. At this point I was really worrying about what the hell I should do. I have no idea what I'm doing. So Geargia, and I use his effect to go and get a Geargia, and I attack for 1000, and I put Geargia in defense mode. Now that I play Karakuris, I'm gonna have to say that I'm gonna have to put a Chimera tech into my extra deck, because this would have been a really good example of when to use Chimera tech to make like a 5000 beta. So he makes Beredo, and at this point I've got mind control face down, so I'm kind of worried because my life points are quite low. So I take 700, he special summons that, he uses that, and he attacks, and I get Geargia, because I thought I can just go into Geargia then, and then he eventually synchro summons into a card that I was not expecting him to go into. I thought he was going to go into Beret, but he ends up getting Landois instead. So I thought, oh god, he's got 2 face downs, 2 synchro monsters, and he can take me out in 1 hit now. So I end up using mind control to take control of his Beredo, because I thought I can't use that anytime soon. So I ended up putting defense mode to draw a card, and I thought, oh, torrential, great, I can't use that. So he macrocosmoses my Geargia arsenal, which doesn't really make any sense. At this point I was like, oh god, okay, I can't really do much, so I ended up trying to go into Utopia, which kind of cost me the game actually, because I knew that if I were to go into Giganto, he could just attack over it. So yeah, fuck that shit. So he gets his monster back, so I hope to god that he was going to yeah, so I quit. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That was a fun, interesting duel. I would have gone to game 3, but I didn't want this to go over too long. So yeah, that was duel number 46. Gear's actually doing really well in UCG, but they have card D and stuff like that, which helps the deck because it's a machine, and the deck relies on draw power more than search power in that scenario, because you can draw into many different kind of outs and stuff. Yeah, I just refuse to play card D. I just don't like the card. But if you want to play it in this deck, then that's up to you. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. TCGLover out.